Are we good? Maybe.
All right, she's back in the waiting room. CJ's in the waiting room. No.
I'm coming into the waiting room so that I can monitor chat for you.
All right. I think everybody who's in here is back.
That was a great one. Nick, what did you do before real estate?
I did HOA management.
Ashley, what did you do before real estate?
I coach children's gymnastics.
What did you do before real estate? I was preschool teacher. Thank you.
Okay. So we're in, everybody's in. I should be able to share my screen.
And remember to click that sound button when you say screen sharing.
Now it's asking me about recording, but you're going to record on
I
yours.
can't record on mine. It has to be on the host one.
It's going to make me restart it again.
We'll just don't record it.
No, it says we can't. Hold on. Admit.
Guys, just bear with us.
It says pause, stop recording. So is it recording? Yes, it is.
I think it is recording.
Okay.
So now will it let you screen share? And hit the save share sound.
The hell is my password? Okay, yeah, it worked.
You're matched.
Is it all going now? Did we win?
I think so.
Oh my goodness, everybody on Zoom, thank you so much. That was a lot.
But now, how do I see?
Kakila said it gave her the notification
Okay,
it was being recorded.
perfect.
So I will monitor chat for you.
And I guess it would pop
And
up
I'll
now
monitor and then it'll pop up.
because it's share screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do I make this smaller?
There's a little, that little, yeah, click that little, yep. And you don't need to see that.
I
But
sure
again,
don't.
Ashley's paying attention.
All right.
Are we ready?
Keep in mind, guys,
Think that
when
we're
you ask
good.
questions, speak loudly because we don't have the eyeball on so they can't hear on Zoom.
Yeah.
There was a lot of technology pieces going to Mac. Mac really just
Yep,
threw
'cause
me
I
off.
have a stupid Mac, so alright.
And maybe if somebody asks a question, we can repeat it for Zoom. Nick?
You remember that?
Yes.
All right, we ready?
I think we're ready.
Cool. So I think I know everybody in here, but for anybody on Zoom who doesn't know me, my name is Nick Paolozzi, and I've been a real estate agent for 4 years, been with Remax for almost 2 years. And for the past about year and a half, I've been working on YouTube and getting my leads through YouTube. And now it's the only thing that I do to get my leads. I don't do any other prospecting. To date, I've probably received close to 200 leads from YouTube alone, and that's just posting videos about Myrtle Beach and the surrounding areas. So this class, I guess, is going to be about getting started on YouTube. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to do that. And real quick, let me pull up my PowerPoint because I spent tons of time making this.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We're not going to do a slideshow because I think that's going to mess me up. But so yeah, this is the class getting started on YouTube. And the first thing we're going to do is, does everybody in here have a YouTube account? Anybody who doesn't have a YouTube account? Okay, cool. Does everybody have a Gmail account? Gmail, cool. Because you need a Gmail account to have a YouTube account. So basically what you're going to do is the first thing that you'll do, and I'll sign out so I can show you what this looks like when you're not signed in. You're going to come to YouTube, youtube.com, and there's going to be this little button right here up top that says sign in. You're going to click that, and you're going to sign in with your Gmail account. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to sign in with my Gmail account. And then this is not going to pop up when you don't have a YouTube account. So I'm going to select my channel. You would click this drop down right here, and where it says your channel, it would say start a channel or create a channel. So you're going to click that. It's going to ask you to upload a photo of yourself for your account, and it's going to ask you to come up with a name. You can just name it your name or whatever. My channel name is Moving with Nick. That's kind of how I'm branding myself. So if you wanted to create a special channel name, you could go ahead and do that. And that's basically all you need to do to set up your account. So you sign in with your Gmail account, click create a channel, which would be right here where mine says your channel. And then you put in your channel name and upload a photo. Okay. And then this is what your channel is going to look like. You're not going to have any videos when you first start your channel until you start uploading them. And you're not going to have this thumbnail background, which I'm going to show you how you can get that created. And so we'll go through all that. So these are the tools that I use to create all my videos. I just use my phone. I don't use a fancy camera. I used to use a camera that I just had laying around my house. And I've decided to simplify things. I just use my phone. You don't need to have a special camera. Your phone definitely does good enough. It's very user friendly. We all have it in our pockets. iPhone, Android, whatever you have, you can use it. I definitely recommend at some point getting some sort of a light, a ring light from Amazon. Definitely does the trick. We have one upstairs in the call room. You don't need one to start, but it definitely helps with the quality a little bit, especially if you're going to be like filming at home and there's not a ton of natural light coming in. You just set up the ring light. That definitely helps a little bit. A tripod, that's probably the first thing you're going to want to get if you don't have one, is a tripod. This way you're not like holding up your phone while you're making these videos. You can set the phone up on the tripod, point it at yourself, and hit record and just start talking. The next thing I got was a lapel microphone. So that's the microphone that just kind of clips onto your shirt. And they make the ones that plug directly into your phone. I think audio quality is probably the most important thing over video quality. A lot of people, they turn on YouTube and they don't even watch the video. They have it on in the background and they're listening to it. And if it doesn't sound good, they're going to turn the video off. So especially if you're outside, if you're doing videos where you're outside and you're talking while you're outside and it's windy, the microphone is definitely going to help with all of that. And then some other things you're going to need is photo editing software. You can use Canva, and that's what you're going to use to make your thumbnails. Video editing software. If you have a Mac, you can get iMovie. It's free. If you have a PC, there's some other softwares I have on here. DaVinci Resolve. I've never used it, but apparently that's a free software that you can use on a PC. Keywords everywhere, super important. This is how you're going to get your videos found, and we'll go through all of that a little bit later on. It's $10 for the entire year, so it's very cheap. And again, probably one of the most important things on this list, aside from having some sort of camera. And then some other things that I personally use is Easy Agent Pro. That's my website. And MailChimp, which is what I use to blast out my weekly email. So,
You put any of your videos on MailChimp?
Yeah, so pretty much every week I'll post the last video that from the prior week in my weekly email. Any other questions so far?
Is that a file that you could send to me as a PDF that I could share with everyone in class?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I'll share this with everybody. I wrote everybody down, so I'll email it out to you guys.
These are the things that you're going to want to think about when you're creating every single video that you make. What is your niche? How are the people going to find your video? Why are the people going to click on your video? Where are the people going to reach out to you after watching your video? And how will people reach out to you after watching a video? So are people going to reach out to you, and how will they reach out to you? Real quick, before we get into all these, I just want to show you the YouTube studio. So this is your channel. This is like your public facing profile. Anybody can come visit it and they'll see the exact same thing. What you get on the back end is YouTube Studio. So this is where you're going to go to upload all of your videos. This is where you're going to go to see all of your different analytics. And this is where you're going to go to customize your channel. So you would come on this left side here, you have customization. You can go to branding. This is where you can change your profile picture. This is where you can change your banner up top. This is where you can add a little watermark in your video, which when people click that, it'll subscribe to your channel. And then you have some basic info that you want to put in here. So description of your channel URL. So if you ever want to save or share your channel, that's your URL there. I think once you get like 100 subscribers, you can make a custom URL. So you can just have it at your channel name rather than all these random numbers and words. And then you can add in some links here. So the subscribe button, the Facebook, the Instagram, and that is what pops up here on your banner. So people can click to subscribe. They can click to go to my Facebook and they can click to go to my Instagram. Again, that is under your channel customization, under basic info. You can add in all your links down there. Okay. Now we're going to get into some of this stuff that you want to think about when you're creating your videos. One of the most important things is your niche or niche, however you want to say it. I originally thought when I started making videos that I was just going to make videos that appealed to everybody, and that honestly doesn't work. You really want to focus on one sort of demographic of people, and that will honestly bring you more business than if you try to appeal to the masses. For example, I make videos for people who are looking to relocate to Myrtle Beach. So every time I create a video, in my mind, my thought process is, what are people who don't live here, who are thinking about living here, asking? What questions do they want answered? What do they want to see? Don't make videos for sellers. I don't make videos for people who already live here and know about the area. My videos focus on people who know little to nothing about Myrtle Beach. And you can narrow this down as much as you want. Like if you want your niche to just be one specific community, if you do a lot of business in one community and you only want to make videos about that community and doing neighborhood tours and doing amenity tours and talking about the HOAs and talking about the homes for sale and the last 6 months of homes that sold and how that compares to the homes that sold 3 years ago, you can do that as well. Some things to think about when you are talking about your niche is what the channel is about, who is it for, and more importantly, who is it not for. My channel is definitely not for sellers, right? And I know that, so I'm not going to make videos for sellers. Why should they care about your content, and what is your unique value proposition? And the key word there being unique. One of the first notes that I wrote down when I was starting to get into YouTube was, you don't need to be better than all the other agents on YouTube. You just have to be different. And people are going to reach out to you because they like the way you presented the information and they like the information that you shared. And the good part about video is people get to know your personality through the video, and they get to know who you are before they ever meet you. And they're going to choose you as their agent before they even make that first phone call. So super important to just be yourself and really get that to come across on video. Some other examples of niches: farm area type of transaction. So buy, sell, property types. Do you want to focus on condos? You want to focus on oceanfront condos, houses, different professions. If you did something before real estate that you know a bunch about, like if you were a teacher, do you want to focus on teachers who are moving to Myrtle Beach? The type of client you want to work with, the hobbies they might have. So all different stuff you can think of when you're coming up with your niche. And then you want to think about all this when you're making your video. So think about your ideal client and pretend you're talking to them when you're making your video. So that's your niche. How are people going to find your video? And I think we're going to get into some of these next steps here. So this is steps to make your first video, and then we'll go back to the last slide. You want to come up with a topic. So this is every video. Come up with a topic. Research keywords for that topic. Very important. You want to do this before you actually film the video. So have your topic and research those keywords, because you want to make sure people are actually searching for this video topic before you put all the effort into making the video. Write out your talking points, whether that's a full script or just bullet points. Film your video, edit your video, export or save your video, create a thumbnail, upload your video to YouTube, add the video info, so all your details, your description, your title, your thumbnail, and then post it and make it public. And we're going to go through all that, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So coming up with a topic, again, answer questions that your clients are asking and talk about things that your clients would find helpful. Again, go back to your niche, go back to the clients you work with. What questions are they asking? What are you doing for your clients on a daily basis? People, for example, who are out of town, because that's what I focus on, they're calling me, they're asking me for tours of specific communities, they're asking me for tours of homes, they're asking me about different price points in different areas. So that's what I make my videos on. Research keywords. So this goes back to that previous slide where it's how are people going to find your video, and researching your keywords is how people are going to find your video. You're going to use a program that is called Keywords Everywhere. And these are the keywords that you're going to use to write your descriptions and write your titles. This way, when people type stuff into Google and YouTube, your video pops up. And I'm going to show you right now what that looks like. Just kidding. We want to do this on Google Chrome. This is only a plugin for Google Chrome. I think Firefox, but I haven't used Firefox in like 10 years. So we're using Google Chrome. So this is what the Keywords Everywhere site looks like. You're going to install it for Chrome. It's a plugin. It hangs out right here. This is how you turn it on and off.
What's it called?
Keywords Everywhere. Yeah, and that'll be in the slides that Ashley sends out. You're going to pay $10. It's a little bit tricky to set up, so if you need help setting it up on your computer, just let me know and I can help you do that. But they have like a frequently asked questions page, and it kind of walks you through the whole process on how to do it. So yeah, that's Keywords Everywhere, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like here when you're searching on Google. So if we go to Google and I start typing in Myrtle Beach and I hit search, I right now have this program turned on, right? So my Google search looks a little bit different than it might work if I don't have this turned on, but it shows me the search volume of how many people type in Myrtle Beach into Google or YouTube every single month. 673,000 times it's typed into Google every single month. And this is the competition. So other people who are creating content about Myrtle Beach. This goes from 0 to 1.0, so basically 0 to 100. And the key thing to remember when you're first getting your channel started, so under 100 subscribers on YouTube, is you want to have a search volume that is between 100 to 1,000 searches a month, and you want your competition to be less than 0.33 when you're first starting your channel. Once you get over 100 subscribers, you can start to dabble with larger search volumes and larger competitions. But as a newer channel who Google hasn't vetted you yet, they haven't seen that you're making content about this sort of stuff, they're not going to rank your video for these higher search volumes and higher competition when they don't know that you know what you're talking about. And the way Google knows that you know what you're talking about is you make more content about those specific terms. The more content you make, the more Google knows you're making content, and the higher to push your videos for those search terms. So any questions on Keywords Everywhere? Yeah.
So that was the actual search and the keyword. You plug them in there and search, and then you see the analytics.
And I write it down. So I'll go through, and you want to have like multiple
How many keywords
keywords.
can you enter? As many as you want?
Yeah, so you're writing a description, it's a paragraph, right? So, and you're just putting them in there. You're right.
So in the paragraph, is in the description is where you want all the keywords.
Yeah, your description and your title, right? So,
Maybe if you go back to re-edit some of your videos to change the description.
yeah, yep. Especially the ones in the beginning that I made where I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. And then, so you just start with one, like a broad thing, and you start narrowing down now, homes for sale in Myrtle Beach. Now the search volume's a little bit lower, 9,900, but the competition's a little bit higher, 0.48. And you can scroll down, you can see related keywords, homes for sale in North Myrtle Beach, homes for sale in South Carolina, and you can see we're starting to kind of narrow down. And I'll come up with like a list of 10 keywords, short ones, long ones, that I'll put into my video descriptions that kind of relate to the topic that I'm talking about. And again, if you type something in, for example, like homes for Myrtle Beach homes for sale under 200,000, that exact keyword there, 0 search volume. So if you're going to make a video topic about that, you're going to want to come up with some different keywords. You're not going to want to title your video exactly this because there's no search volume for that exact term. However, there is what's called long tail keywords, which is this whole sentence, and then short tail keywords. So it's still going to pull Myrtle Beach homes for sale within this fuller title. But for your title, you're going to want to come up with words that have the search volume you're looking for. And then in description, you can put in some of this other stuff that's more specific.
What do you, for a new channel, you said less than 100 subscribers, you want the volume to be?
Between 100 and 1,000, and the competition as close to or below 0.33.
So with that, is competition at like 0.05? Is that really, really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The lower the competition, the better.
As long as it's not 0.
No, the competition can be 0, but you don't want the search volume to be 0. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to the slide. So that's your keywords. Write out talking points. This is super important. I think when you're filming a video this way, you don't like sit in front of the camera and freeze up. It's something I definitely did when I first started. Even though there's nobody like in the room with you, it's definitely a little bit awkward just sitting there staring at your camera and talking. So write out talking points. Some people like to write an entire script and do it word for word. I don't like to do that. I like to just write out some bullet points, things that I want to cover. If I'm talking about a community, I'm going to write down what the HOA dues are. I'm going to write down what the HOA dues cover. I'm going to talk about, if I'm talking about recent home sales, I'm going to write down what the average price point was of those home sales. I'm going to write how many homes sold, how many homes are active. This way, like in between my video clips, I can glance down and look at my notes and then look up and rattle off the minute and a half for that clip. And then, you know, if I'm messing up, I can go back to my notes, review it over. And this way I always have it in front of me. That'll definitely help. It takes a little bit of time to obviously do the research and write out the notes. It'll save you a ton of time when actually filming. Then you want to film your video, and I do this in parts to make things easier, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. But I set up my camera, I hit record, and again, I'll rattle off like a minute. I'll stop the recording. I'll look down at my notes, what I want to talk about next. I'll do another minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then I put all those clips together at the end when I'm editing the video. And I think that's just easier than trying to sit there and talk for 10 minutes straight at the camera. Some people can do it. I definitely can't. I start to ramble. I start to repeat the same thing over and over. And that's definitely not something you want to do to keep the engagement on your videos. You want people to watch your videos for as long as possible. If you start rambling or repeating things, people are going to click off, and then it's not good for the YouTube algorithm, which helps you grow and helps more people see your channel and gets more clients. So again, I film a minute to 2 minute clips at a time, or you can hit record, keep your phone recording the entire time, do your minute, take a break, look down at your notes while this is still recording, come back, say another clip, look down, and then you have one long video where you can cut out the middle parts where you weren't talking or you're staring at your notes or you're messing up. So however you prefer to do it, I prefer to do separate clips, but some people like to just have one long video clip to work with.
Yeah, question for you. Is there an art of splicing these clips together? Because sometimes you're talking and then you cut it and you talk the next and your voice changes or whatever. It just.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I actually filmed a couple of just short clips this morning. I'm going to kind of show you how I put them together and a little trick that I use to make it kind of look a little bit smoother, like it's not that you put two different clips together. So then the next thing you're going to do is upload your video edit your video. And I guess we'll jump into that right now, is editing the video and kind of how I do that. So you're just going to string your clips together and turn all of your different clips into one long clip. So I'm going to use iMovie because I have a Mac. This is what it's going to look like when you first open it. You're going to create a new movie. And then this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to, geez, how many pages do I have open? We're going to come to these clips that I have here from this morning. And you're just going to drag them in.
Fancy that is.
Yep. So I have these 4 separate clips that previously were one separate video. Now they're all combined together. They're going to play one right after another. And I can export this as now one video. But there's going to be some things that you want to do to these clips before you do that. So I'm just going to play this through and kind of show you what it looks like as the separate clips. Hey, Nick Paolozzi here, and today I'm going to show you how to do a voiceover for your videos in iMovie. And real quick, I just want to tell you, can we make it come through the TV?
I don't think with your AirPlay.
Okay. Yeah, it's all the way up, but basically this is just saying, like, this is an introduction. Hey, Nick Paolozzi here, and today I'm going to show you how to do a voiceover for your videos in iMovie. And real quick, I just want to tell you this is super simple, and it really helps this way when you're doing tours of communities and tours of homes. You don't actually have to talk while you're going through the property. You can come back and do that all after. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So this is my apartment here. You have my kitchen. You have my dining area, which has no dining, just alcohol. And you have my living room. And that is it. Nice and simple. And that's it.
As
That's how you edit. Like in these video clips here, there's pauses in the beginning, there's pauses at the end. It doesn't really flow together. And real simple, what you do when you have these separate clips is you just drag the beginning. And Nick Paolozzi. So now there's no pauses in the beginning. It starts right when I'm talking, and you drag the end. And you do the same thing for your next couple of clips. Now there's no pauses in the beginning or the end. And now that'll be a lot smoother, right? And then something that you can do for these 2 clips that are separate. Now, even though we took out the gap in the middle. And real quick, I just want to tell you, you can tell it kind of jumps from one clip to another. So what you do with this second clip is you transform it, you crop it, and you zoom in a little bit. If it'll let me do it. Oh, there we go. So now when we go from one clip to the next, videos in iMovie. And real quick, I just want to tell you this is super simple, and it really helps this way when you're on the clip instead of actually starting a new clip, right? So people think you're kind of just zooming in for like dramatic effect, and you can
for
You
your
can't tell as
videos
much
in
as
iMovie.
and real quick, I just want to tell you this is
Yeah.
super simple and
It's
it
gonna be a
really
little bit
helps this
better.
way
I
when
was
you're
standing
up and I was actually moving where I was, but when you're sitting down in one specific spot and it's just your head moving from clip to clip, people are not gonna be able to tell, and it looks like it's one long clip, and it looks a little bit more authentic, in my opinion, when you do it that way. So you can alternate. If you have a bunch of clips in a row, you zoom in, zoom back out, zoom in, zoom back out, and it just looks like you're zooming in and zooming out for dramatic effect. And then something else people always ask me about is, do I actually talk when I'm doing like a walkthrough in a house or when I'm driving through a community? I don't. When I'm driving through a community, I'm listening to music, and when I'm walking through doing a home tour, I'm just walking through. And then what I do is I come in here after the fact and I turn off the volume just by dragging it down. Grab this little yellow line and you drag it down. Now there's no volume on that clip. And all these Zoom things are in my way. You go to Window and you hit Record VoiceOver. This is going to take the microphone away from Zoom, so I'm not going to do that, but a little record button would pop up, right? And basically you would hit record, and then it's going to play through this clip silent, and I can sit here and talk about what I'm seeing on the video. So this would be going through and I'd be saying, okay, we're standing in my kitchen, there's my kitchen, and this is my dining area. And there's no dining table, but there's a bunch of alcohol, and here's my living room, and that is a tour of my apartment. And this way, I don't actually have to be talking, I don't have to be thinking about what I want to talk about while I'm going through the home. I don't have to be thinking about what I want to talk about when I'm filming a video in my car. I can just film the video, I can come back and talk over it after. So that's something I use in every single one of my videos.
You do the voiceover without a microphone.
You can get a microphone that'll plug into both your computer and your phone. So depending on how you want to do it,
But the same one will plug into both.
it depends on what type you have. Like you can get the ones that plug into audio jacks, but now phones don't have audio jacks, but you can get a converter so that your phone does have an audio jack. So it just depends on how you want to do it. You don't have to do it that way, but I prefer to, so all my audio sounds the same. Yeah. And then when you're done editing your video, and every software is going to be a little bit different. In iMovie, you click this little share button right here and you export the file, and you name your file, whatever you want to name it. And you're going to save it to, I'll save it to desktop so I can find it. And it's going to export. It's telling me right here it's exporting. And then we're going to have one long video clip instead of 4 separate videos. So that's a real brief tutorial on how to edit. I think you guys are doing a class on how to use iMovie and edit iMovie in 2 weeks or something. So
It may even be next week, actually.
Tune into that for more details.
It'll just be the phone version of it, which has actually a lot of features on it also, not as many as the whole computer version, but it'll be on the 21st at 10 a.m.
How long are your videos normally?
I try to make my videos anywhere between like 7 and 12 minutes.
Difference for YouTube?
YouTube likes videos that are at least 8 minutes long, I think. They kind of reward people who have enough subscribers to monetize and make money off YouTube by having their videos 8 minutes. That allows people to put additional ads into their video, which what that tells me is if YouTube's going to allow people to put additional ads into their video once a video is 8 minutes long, it means that they want the video to be at least 8 minutes long. So I shoot somewhere between 7 to 12 minutes. The biggest thing with that is just to be consistent, because one of the biggest analytics for YouTube pushing out your videos is your average watch time. So a good key rule of thumb is you want your watch time to be at least 50%. So if your video is 10 minutes and one person watches 10 minutes and one person watches 1 second and they click off, your average watch time from those 2 viewers is going to be 50%, about 5 minutes. And they look at your average watch time over time. So if you're used to posting 20-minute videos and half your people watch the whole thing and half watch 3 seconds and your average watch time is 10 minutes, and then you post a 10-minute video and now your average watch time is 5 minutes, YouTube's gonna look at that video and say, this video is not performing well because the average watch time is only 5 minutes versus the channel average of 10 minutes. So you wanna keep that in mind. You wanna keep them all around the same time frame, so.
That question, I use iMovie on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And I have Windows PC. It's really difficult sometimes to do editing on the iPhone because of the size. Do you have any recommendation that for people that have Windows and iPhones for an editing program?
Yeah, I would just focus on just editing on your computer. It definitely is a lot easier. So find a program like DaVinci Resolve that you can get on your PC and use that. Even though you have an iPhone, you can upload any clips to that. Yeah. So we exported our video. It's now sitting over here on my desktop, and we have one long video that is 49 seconds long. Okay. And that's what we're going to upload to YouTube. And you want to make sure, I think everybody's phone should probably record in at least 1080p. So when you're recording, record in 1080p, and you want to export to that same video quality. So when you're going through and clicking export, it's going to ask you what settings you want it saved as. Just save it to the same settings that you recorded in. All right, then you want to make a thumbnail. So for thumbnails, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make it related to whatever video you're talking about. So for example, if you're doing like a walkthrough of a home, make sure you snap a picture of the home, because you don't want to try and go screen capture it from the video because it's going to be crooked or whatever. So I do this every time before I'm recording. Before I go do the video walkthrough, I'll take a picture of the outside of the house. Same thing when I'm sitting down to do my video. Before I record all my videos, I'll take a picture of myself like pointing and smiling so I can throw that in the thumbnail with the words. So make sure you're doing that first, and you want to have your photo in the thumbnail if you can, because it just helps build your brand, and videos are more likely to get clicked on when your picture's in the thumbnail than when it's not. And then you want to put some sort of text on there that is related to the video, but you don't want it to be exactly the same or repeating your video title. And then the dimensions for your YouTube thumbnail is going to be 1280 by 720. So when you're setting up your canvas in Canva, you can set these dimensions, and that's what you want, the size you want it to be for YouTube. So we're going to
also have presets too.
Yeah, they should. Canva, you can click on like, hey, I'm making YouTube, and yeah, but we're going to go ahead and do this right now real quick. Seriously?
Wonder if Photify can do the thumbnails.
So for Canva, this is a quick thumbnail that I made last night. It took me like 5 minutes to create. So I already made my canvas size, and basically we're just going to recreate this exact same thing down here below. So you're just going to upload your photos that you want to use. I already have them uploaded here. So we're going to use this house. We're going to make it the right size, and we're going to center that so it looks good. Then we have this video, or this photo that I took here before I started filming my videos. And if you have Canva Pro, you can remove the background without much work. If not, you have to kind of sit here and erase around all the outlines. But because I have Canva Pro set up, I can click background remover, and it's going to kind of do its thing, and it's going to remove the background, and it's not perfect. So I'm going to zoom in here, and it's still got those books there in the background. So now I'm going to click the eraser tool, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to erase. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The thumbnail is fairly small on YouTube. People aren't going to notice. You're going to be the only one who knows that it's not perfect.
There's also a website called removebg.com, and you can put your picture in there first and then upload it in here if you don't have Canva Pro, and then the same type of picture will just come right into Canva. So if you don't want to buy the Canva Pro, you can always do Remove BG.
Yeah, because Canva Pro is probably the most expensive thing out of this whole process, and it's like $12 a month, so it's not crazy expensive, but it is billed monthly. So
You probably could do this in Photoshop, you just have to make sure that the size is matched up.
yeah,
That's what, because I can't see them, like, you know, when you go into Canva, it has like, where you make a logo or you make a card, or what did you go under?
I just click like create your own, and it'll just be a blank
Yeah,
canvas.
it has like, okay, because when I hit my create them, and that's do it, that's what you can see.
Yeah, so Canva,
You decide what to create, so where did you go? Yeah.
Thinking more.
Okay, so you're going on.
You can tell it on your.
yeah, so right here, actually, I just click up at the top. You have all these options here. I just click custom size 1280 by 720,
Okay.
and that's what I do. Yeah. And now what you want to do is you kind of want to make your image pop. You don't want to just have your face kind of on the background. So what you do is you click edit image. You can kind of go down to glow. And now we have a back shadow, which that's good enough. At least now it shows kind of dimension. It shows that you're kind of off the screen, but I like to edit this a little bit more. And I'm going to change this to white instead of black. I'm going to turn the blur all the way down, transparency all the way up, and I'm going to make the size a little bit bigger. And now we have an outline, and I'm going to hit apply. And another rule of thumb, you kind of want to make your face like 1/3 of the page. So you make that a little bit bigger. Now on top of that outline, you can click this little drop shadow button and add an additional drop shadow. So now you're kind of popping off the screen and you have an outline. And then you want to add some text. So we're gonna add a text, and you can change your font and all that, whatever you like. This home is awesome. Whatever your thumbnail is gonna be, right? And then I like to use white. Make this a little bit bigger. Move this right here, and then we want to make this pop a little bit as well. So we're going to add some effects to this, and we're going to add a drop shadow. We're going to make the shadow black. We're going to make it darker. We're going to make it a little bit blurry. You can change the direction, which way you kind of want it to go. Change the offset. We'll make the shadow a little bit deeper. And I mean, that could be good enough, but I also like to add some outlines in Canva. Again, you can only add like this one effect. So what you're going to do is you're going to right click that text right there, and you're going to hit copy, and then you're going to right click it and you're going to paste it. So now you have this twice, and you're going to line them up, and Canva will do that for you. It'll snap them together once you get them close. And now we're going to change the effects of this one. Instead of having the drop shadow, we're going to put a hollow outline, and we'll make that a little bit thicker. We'll change the color to red, and now we have the outline and we have the drop shadow, so it pops a little bit more. And now you have your thumbnail. And you can kind of mess with the background. So we're going to click the background image, and we'll edit that image and just kind of bring the saturation up a little bit. So the color's a little bit exaggerated. We'll bump up the contrast. That way it just pops a little bit more on YouTube. Now you have your thumbnail, and same deal, you can click share and download that. And you only want to do one of the pages, which if you're just making one, you only have one anyways. And now we'll have our thumbnail. And this is what's going to help people click your video, right? The keywords everywhere, that's what's going to get your video to show up when people are searching. And then a good catchy thumbnail is what's going to get people to click, because people are drawn to, they already know what they typed in, they can see your title there, but the thumbnail is what's going to kind of draw them and be like, ooh, I want to watch that video, I want to click it. So that is it for making your thumbnail. And we're going to upload your video, and I'm going to walk you through those steps right now. So we're going to go back to YouTube. We're going to go to the YouTube studio. Remember, you click your little face in the drop-down menu, you click YouTube studio, and you're going to click this little upload button right here at the top. And you're going to select a file. So we're going to go to my desktop, and we're going to select my movie, and you're going to click upload. And YouTube's going to do its thing. And here's where you're going to type in your title. And remember, you're going to use your keywords for this. So whatever your video is about, you're going to type in your keywords. You're going to write a description. The more words, the better in here. You want to make a pretty lengthy description with as many of those keywords as you can. Just kind of jam them in there. And just kind of describe what you're talking about, the area you're talking about. Use the keywords as many times as possible. Then you're going to upload your thumbnail. So we're going to go find that thumbnail we just created, and we're going to upload that. And it's pretty much as simple as that. Now you have your thumbnail, you have your description, you have your title. You can add in this step. YouTube says this isn't super important, but they still have it here, so I still use it. You're going to add in tags, and basically the way you can think of tags is they're basically just hashtags. So this is just additional stuff you're going to type in Myrtle Beach, and that's one tag. And then South Carolina, that's another tag. You're just going to fill in a bunch of tags about your video as well, just like you were doing hashtags. You're going to click next. It's going to ask you if you want to add an end screen. You can do this. This is what's going to pop up at the end of your video. It's the last 20 seconds. And this is where you can be like, hey, thank you for watching my video. If you're interested in more videos about Myrtle Beach, I recommend starting with this one right here. And you can point to the screen and it'll pop up. So you can do that. And you can select like, hey, I just want it to be the best video for the viewer, which is how I do a majority of my videos. So if they've watched a bunch of videos about Murrells Inlet, it'll pop up another video for them about Murrells Inlet. But I just made a video about Grand Dunes, and I'm like, hey, I've made 2 other videos in the past about Grand Dunes. In this video, I didn't really talk about the HOA and the amenities, but I have 2 other videos where I do that. You can check those out right here. And you can click choose a specific video, and you can go through your videos and be like, hey, this is what I want to pop up at the end for every single person who watches this video. So you can go select that specific video. So you do that, then you click save. It's going to go through all its checks, make sure you're not doing any copywriting or anything like that. And then you're going to go to visibility. You're going to click public, and then you'll hit save, and your video will be uploaded to YouTube. If you want to schedule, if you post on the same time every day and you just upload your video on Wednesday and you post on Thursdays, you can schedule it to automatically post on Thursday at a specific time. And then another little tip, if you click unlisted, these are kind of videos that I make when I go film a specific house for a client who's like, hey, I'm interested in this home, and I go do a video walkthrough for them. I don't want it to go to my main YouTube channel. I don't want it to affect my analytics because I'm not creating a video to help people. I'm just doing a quick video walkthrough. You click on listed, and the only people who can watch that video are the people who have the link. So now you can go copy the link for that video, email it to your clients, and they can watch it as many times as they want. So that's what you use unlisted for. And I'm not going to save this because I don't want it to go, but that's pretty much how you upload the video on YouTube. Add your information, your title, description, thumbnail. We just went through all that as well. Make your video public. And that is pretty much it for uploading your first YouTube video and all the things that you want to do. Some other great resources where I basically learned all of this info from. There's a page on Facebook called YouTube for Agents. And the lady who created that, her name is Karen Carr. If you type in her name on YouTube, there's a bunch of videos on there. She goes into depth about editing. She goes into depth about niches, on filming videos, on lighting, on sound, on all that stuff. So pretty much everything we just reviewed over today, I learned from her channel, which is free on YouTube.
Can you show us some of the analytics and how that works?
Sure.
I mean, not dig deep into what you're.
Yeah, so this can get like pretty intense and pretty lengthy.
Just like what's, you know, a good example of a good response.
Yeah, so on your individual videos, these are kind of the things you want to look at. These are the things that are going to be the most important. Your impression click-through rate, really anything over like 5% is a good click-through rate. So the impressions are the people who they type in something and your video pops up and they scroll past it. That's an impression. A click-through rate is how many people actually clicked that video and watched it. Anything over like a 5% click-through rate is a good click-through rate. So this video has a almost 8% click-through rate. So that's good. So that means my title and my thumbnail is catching people's eyes and they're clicking it, right? Your ranking by views. This takes your last 10 videos and ranks your most recent video compared to the last 10 videos that ranked, right? So in the first 4 days and 14 hours, this video is ranked 8. So it's one of my worst performing videos in the last 10, right? If it's a number 1, that means it has had the most views in the first 4 hours and 14 minutes. So it ranks your video based on the amount of time that it's been uploaded. There's really nothing you can do about changing that, except for maybe going in and messing with your description, messing with your keywords to kind of get more exposure. If your video click-through rate was super low, you might want to go in and change your thumbnail. You can do all that after the fact. Again, your average view duration, this one's pretty low for me as well. My typical average view duration is between 3 minutes and 47 seconds to 4 minutes and 8 seconds. This one's 3:28, so it's low. So there's some things I might have done in my video that turned people off and they clicked off. And you can dig into that a little bit deeper, right? You can go in and you can go to your engagement for that specific video. And you can see kind of like a graph of when people are clicking off. So I had a big drop off right here at the 3 minute and 11 mark. So I can go in and watch that video and see, what did I say at 3 minutes and 11 seconds? What did I do at that time that people clicked off, right? You can go into your reach and kind of see where most of your traffic source is coming from. You can see what videos are recommending this video. You can see the top search term for that video is Myrtle Beach. So 9.7% of my views are coming from the search term Myrtle Beach. 6.5% coming from the search term Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can see 61% of my videos are coming from the browse features. So that's when people log in and it shows them their home screen of videos and they're seeing it pop up on their home screen. For this video, my YouTube search is super low. You like to see this be the first source because that means the keywords that you use are working well. Most of your views are coming from a YouTube search rather than the browse features. Notifications, you ask people to turn on the notification bell so they get notifications when your video pops up. 12% of my views are coming from that. So, I mean, you can get pretty into the weeds with all this stuff. Again, the most important stuff when you're first starting out, impression click-through rate and average view duration. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can kind of see who your audience is. 52% of viewers are people who are not subscribed, which is a good thing. That means almost or more than half of my viewers are people that have probably never seen my video before. They haven't subscribed to my channel. That's a good thing. You want new viewers watching your video. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the analytics.
What about the best time to post? Do you kind of find?
It really doesn't matter that much, especially if you're creating like evergreen content that can be watched all the time. That's something else I wanted to mention. So thank you for asking that video. You want 75% of the videos you make on your YouTube channel, you want them to be evergreen, meaning that they're relevant today and they'll be relevant a year from now and they'll be relevant 2 years from now. So that means don't make a ton of videos about March market update for Myrtle Beach in 2022, because that's only relevant for maybe March and April of 2022. Doesn't mean you can't make those videos, but 75% of your videos should be evergreen. Those other videos are going to be important as well. But I like to post in the afternoon when people are getting home from work and they're sitting down watching TV. And once you start posting videos and you're getting subscribers and all that, you can go into your channel analytics instead of your video analytics, and you can go down to your audience and you can see when your subscribers are online. So to get a good pop of viewers within the first hour or 2 hours is good, because then it's like, oh, YouTube's like, Nick just posted this video and it's already got X amount of views, which is more than his last video. So it must be a good video. We're going to continue to push it. So once you've posted a bunch and you have subscribers, I would use this data to your advantage and kind of post again in the afternoon, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Very many of your viewers are on YouTube. So I should probably make my video go public at like 8 p.m. So now we're getting some views in the beginning and it gets your video off to a good start.
When you post these to YouTube, do you post to your own channels, Facebook, all that stuff?
No.
You just primarily use YouTube?
Yeah, just YouTube. Facebook's good for like people who follow you already, but the cool part about YouTube is it's a search engine. So that's how you're getting people to come view you who don't already know you. If you're going to post your video to Facebook, I do that sometimes, but I upload it separately. I'm not posting the link because especially when you first start making videos, what's going to happen is people who know you, they might not be interested in the topic, but they're going to click on that link because they think they're supporting you and giving you views, but they're going to watch a minute of it and they're going to get distracted by something else because they weren't actually interested in that topic, and they're going to click off. And now that's your average view duration going down. And that's also going to tell YouTube that your viewership is coming from a Facebook link, not from the YouTube search. And again, you want most of your views to come from that YouTube search. Yeah.
What about subscribers? Are you subscribers? You just subscribe below or just ask for it?
Yeah, ask people to subscribe. So at the end of my videos, I'll let people know, hey, I make videos like this all the time. And I used to do this in the beginning, but I used to see a big drop off because, you know, the people who are regularly, yeah, so give them all the content at the end of the video. The people who watch the whole thing, they're the ones you want to present this to anyways, and say, hey, thanks for watching. Hit the like button because that helps with the algorithm. You want to ask them to subscribe, let them know you make videos like this every single week. You know, tune in for more if you click the subscribe button, the notification bell. You'll get an email, you get a notification on your phone when I post my next video, so you'll see it pop up. So you want to ask for that. And then one thing, I know we're at like the hour mark, we're at 10:30, but one last thing I want to review over that's kind of important is how people are going to reach out to you and where they're going to reach out to you. And the simplest way to do this at the same time and ask people to subscribe is, if you have any questions, feel free to call me, feel free to email me. And in your description, you can put your phone number and your email. So you just let them know, scroll down to this description. All my contact info is down there. I stopped doing that because I was getting a lot of calls and a lot of emails, and they're starting to get hard to keep track of. So now what I do instead is in my description, I put a link to my contact me page on my website. So now they can go to my contact me page, they can put in their name, their contact info, and they can write about what they want to talk about. And now it goes right to my CRM, and I get that notification and they're in my CRM, and I know I have to go follow up with them. My Easy Agent Pro website. So that's the best way to do it. You can also set up different landing pages. So this is a video I made about the parks at Carolina Forest. So I also let them know at the same time I'm saying, hey, scroll down to contact me. I can say, hey, if you want to see the homes that are for sale in this neighborhood at any given time, click that first link in the description. And now it takes them to a search page for the parks at Carolina Forest. And there's no homes for sale right now in the parks at Carolina Forest. And they can see that. And then I can set up, depending on the video, like I might opt to set up a specific landing page. And I did that with my investment video, where I say, hey, if you want to stay up to date with the best investment properties in the area, click the first link in the description. And now this is just a landing page. It doesn't take them to my website, it takes them to the landing page. They can't click anything else except for sign up for the investment search portal. And now that'll come through, they'll get added to my CRM. I can see that they signed up through the investment page. So that prompts me to go set them up on my investment search portal in Paragon that's already set up. I just add their name and email to it, and now boom, they're getting those investment properties that they came looking for. And you can do that with a buyer's guide download. You can set up this page to, as soon as they put their info in, they can automatically download that. And this is not just my website, you can do that on any website. I'm sure there's a way to do it in Booge or whatever, market leader for all those, for all you who have that. So that's how you get people to reach out to you. A call to action, you want to let them know, contact me if you have questions. If you want more info about this specific topic, click the link that'll take them to the page where they can sign up for that info. And now you have their info and you can reach out to them.
This is really just blowing me away.
Yeah, so I know it's a lot of info, but it's totally worth it because those are some really good leads. Those are not leads that you have to contact as soon as they come in, because they're going to go put their info on somebody else's website. They're going to wait for you to call them. So when they sign up on my website, every page on my website sends them an email that says, hey, I'll contact you in the next 24 hours. And they're okay with waiting 24 hours if it takes that long, because they want to talk to Nick because they watched 2 hours of my videos.
Nick, did you feel like there was a snowball effect that was kind of happening once things, like you started getting traction, calls were happening and it was kind of happening exponential at that point? Like, can you give us a little bit of a timeline for you, like when you made certain changes and then when did it all start happening for you?
Yeah, so I've been at making videos on YouTube probably for a year and a half. The first 6 months of that, I was making day in the life videos. I didn't know what video content to post. We had Zillow Killer come in late 2020. And he's like, just post about your life, show what you're doing, show what you're doing for your clients. And that's obviously not relevant to people searching on YouTube or Google or YouTube, whatever, either one. And then January of last year, I posted my first Myrtle Beach specific video. And it was what you can get for $200,000. It was a new construction condo in Murrells Inlet. And then I made a video about Del Webb and some other videos. I think I got my first lead sometime between March and April. got them under contract with a new construction in May. At this time, I still had maybe gotten 1 or 2 leads. Really started to take off in the summer of last year, getting a lot of leads. Closed my first deal from YouTube in November, which wasn't the first one I put under construction or under contract because that was a new construction. I think last year I maybe closed 5 deals from YouTube. This year I've closed 12 deals from YouTube, and every single one of my active clients is from YouTube. I have 6 other deals pending, all from YouTube. Every single person that's on my calendar coming into town is all from YouTube. Yeah.
Any more day in the lives?
Maybe in the future, I don't know.
That's
Focus-
fun to watch.
Focusing on this channel. And then the other thing I'll say about that is that first video I posted in January, what you can get for 200,000, it's a condo tour, but it's not focused on that condo. It's focused on what you can get for $200,000, which is outdated because the prices have gone up so much since then. But that video still gets like 700 views a month. It's my best performing video every single month. From a video I made a year ago, I just got a new lead on Sunday from that video.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you go to these neighborhoods, are you just talking to the listing agent or the agent on duty, like to get access to these places, or how are you accessing these neighborhoods now?
Yeah, so a lot of them are with relationships I've built. If they're new construction, it's on-site agents that I've worked with. If I'm doing a video of just the community, I don't ask permission. I just do it, especially if it's not gated. It's it's a public road. You can go do it. If it's a new construction, I'm asking the on-site agent. I also ask agents in my office, like if I want to do a video on a specific price point, I'll ask like, hey, who has a listing that's between 500 and 600,000? And somebody would be like, hey, I do. And they let me go make a video on it. And then I'm doing houses that I've closed for these clients. And most of them are more than happy for me on our final walkthrough to film their house and post it up, because that's how they found me, was through YouTube. So they're like, yeah, sure, you can film my house. And, yeah.
So I would imagine that when you first got started, you didn't really know even 10% of this, and you just kind of learned it as you go. And I think that sometimes, I mean, this is so much amazing information, but don't get that analysis paralysis of, I don't understand every single piece, so I don't know how to start with my first video. Get a video out there, and then on the second video, you'll do a little better and a little better. And you know, Nick's right here in the office. I'm sure he's happy to answer questions. So there's probably just a learning curve, just like getting started in real estate. If you think back to all the things that you didn't know at the beginning that you know now, it's worth investing the time. In a year from now, have all your leads coming from YouTube.
Yeah, and most of it too, in the beginning, like I was looking for a while, like, how do I do this? How do I do this? I know it's possible. And that's when I found this lady, Karen Carr, and she just happened to be doing like a 5-day free webinar. And these are all my notes from it. So if anybody wants a copy of this, like this is everything she talked about in the 5 days. And one day was about the niche. One day was about the channel art. One day was about keywords everywhere. One day was about the thumbnails. And one day was about the call to action. And this is everything that I used to take it from 0 to where it is now. Yeah. So I definitely recommend checking out her channel because she has all the info for free. She tries to sell you a course, but you don't need the course. I've not taken the course and still been able to do what I've done just from those videos pretty much on her channel.
So it's called YouTube for Agents, right?
Yeah, if you type in her name on YouTube, Karen Carr, right here, Karen Carr. YouTube for Agents is the Facebook page, and that's like a community. People go on there and they're like, hey, I have this thumbnail and I have this thumbnail. Which one do you think I should use? So you can do that. And people ask questions and people answer questions. So.
Do you ever do that? Ask which thumbnail you should use?
I did in the beginning. I don't really anymore.
Was it good feedback that you got out of it?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm in there answering questions for people all the time. Jeremy's in there. I saw him answering questions for people the other day. So we're in that Facebook group, and doing it.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
I just learned that I knew nothing about YouTube prior to an hour ago.
All right, how do I stop this thing? Oh, we have a lot of questions. Have you been answering these? I guess so.
Yes, yep. And then I just like repeated what you were asking, so.
Yeah, because I forgot to repeat the question.
It's okay. Thank you, everyone on Zoom.